go. Live here, live on Facebook. Press record on my device, and I think we're good. I think it is time to start. Okay, so here we go. Official intro.
You are listening to Musician Today, weekly podcast with Vera Bermenko. Tune in for your insight into a professional musician's life and awesome new music.
Hello everybody, and welcome to a very special episode of Musician Today podcast. Today, we're finally celebrating our 1-year anniversary since the start of the show, and I'm so excited to welcome you all today and share very special messages from you and answer your special questions for me, for my life, for my career, for the creation of the show, how I came to be to where I am, and I'm so excited to get to all of them today. So first, don't forget to subscribe to the show and celebrate with us on Apple Podcasts. Find us by Musician Today Podcast. Find us on Spotify, Google Play, Castbox FM. We play on all of your favorite platforms. And the show has been on for 44 episodes so far. Wow. So if it wasn't for you guys who are listening, for our listeners, for our supporters, for our audience, for our tribe of music warriors, we would not be able to do this. So thank you so much for joining me on this amazing journey. I would not dream of actually making it this far. And when I started, I had no idea that I will keep doing the podcast for the whole year and onward. So this is quite amazing. This is a big milestone for me. And if you're interested in what I'm doing in more detail, you can always find me on Facebook by Vera Bermenko, violin dance. I'm a performing artist. I dance with a violin. I explore music and movement and my performances. And yeah, so I love sharing those with you. You can find me on YouTube. Just type in Vera Bermenko YouTube. You'll find me. Find me on Instagram at Vera Bermenko. And my name is Vera Bermenko Violin. You can find me on my website and see what's the most latest project I've been working on verabermenko.com. You can find my album also on my website if you type in /shop or just go to the shop. It's the first thing in there. We've been selling our CD since December. I'm really excited for all of those who purchased it, and thank you guys so much. I've received quite a bit of a good comments about it, so thank you guys. I'm so glad you're enjoying my music. But more importantly, why I started the show is so that we can share with you, with the most amazing international artists, their amazing epic music and their direct real life business advice from musician to musician, from performer to performer. And I cannot thank enough all of the creators, all of the artists, all of the members in my show, the producers, entrepreneurs, everyone we've had so far who have just brought in all of their light and kindness into it. And I'm going to continue to try to bring more amazing people to you guys so you can join it and enjoy it with us. So first of all, I would like to name all of the guests that we've had so far, and I would like to personally thank them for being a part of this amazing experience and my journey of, exploring the world of professional music players and everyone that I have not even dreamt of having on my show. People like Afshin Afadi, Emmy Serrano Burkham, Angie, Archie J. the Snake Charmer, bagpiper, Ariana May, singer-songwriter from Toronto. We also have Ariela Zeitlin from Israel, Bar Markovich. We have Bridget O'Regan from Toronto as well. We have Chantal, the little harpist, Chloe Trevor, the amazing classical violinist. We have David Fetterman, composer. We have David Vitera, Dallin Ross, who's a creator of beautiful prints and crafts. We have Drew Ford, that viola kid. We're about to have Ellie Lee next week. And Emer Kinzela. Sorry, Emer. I'm still a little too excited. And Ernesto Lago. Then we have Eugene Draw, Fred May, producer. Giselle Tavelson, an amazing entertainer violinist. We have Hayden Vitera, Hector Ortiz, who's also known as a Cello Azul. We have Hilary Klug, Jared Burnett, and myself, I made to the list. So Kira Benson, Lena Burmenko, and John Christillas, my family, who are filmmakers, and we just had an interview with them last week from Sandwich Femme. Watch their marked episodes of web series on YouTube. We have Lithian from the band Elvin King, Lydia Gentry, Mark Wood, Matt Bell, the amazing rockstar violinist who's the face of the electric violin shop, Matthew Olszewski, the shirtless violinist, Michelle Winters, Nadima Jdelani, my longtime friend and composer living in LA, Paul the trombonist, Raz Vio, Richard Campbell, also an amazing composer. Then we have Sarah Charnas, the pink violinist who performs with the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. We have Spirit Drums, Mark and Melanie, who are amazing couple who make amazing instruments like the Spirit Drums and didgeridoos, and it was so fun to have them on the show. We have Tanya, the grind violinist from UK, Taylor Davis, and Vishwana from India. So thank you all, guys, for being a part of the show, for helping me on my journey, and for helping me share your amazing messages, your kindness, your music with everyone who's listening. And we've had some feedback, actually, and we've had quite a few questions that I will get to in just a second. So thanks for listening. Thank you to all of my guests. And I just wanted to say that we live in interesting times. We live in critical times for the change, for humanity, for our history. And I wanted to say that to all of those who are right now on the front lines fighting for the rights and freedoms, or those on the front lines of fighting the pandemic, I support you. I hear you. I'm with you. I encourage you to be human to each other, to be safe, take care of yourselves and take care of others around you. Treat each other with love, kindness, and respect that we all have to do as human beings. And I will continue to also spread positive message and make sure that our community here on my page is always welcoming of everyone, especially the music lovers that unify themselves through the love of their art and music. So we live in times of drastic change, and the biggest change does not come easy. But I believe that through it we will emerge as better human beings. So we'll be stronger and wiser and kinder. So be strong, my friends. Be bold. Don't forget to use your voice. Speak up against injustices, but also be kind to each other. So I will continue to do my work through my music, my show, and my pages to create a sanctuary for all the music lovers in the world, for all artists and professionals who are united by their true love of their passion. And I welcome you to join us on all of the resources that I just listed. You can find us on Spotify, Google Play, Castbox FM, anywhere else that you listen to podcasts. Just type in Musician Today podcast, and that's how you'll find us. So let's build a better world together. Let's uplift each other. Then we will actually be uplifting all of humanity through kindness and human connection. That was a long intro. Anyway, so why don't we go on and start asking the questions from you guys, that you've been so kind and nice of submitting the questions that I actually really like reading, and I feel like it's going to take me a while to answer each one of them because they were all so deep and meaningful. Thank you. We had submissions from my LinkedIn tribe. We had submissions through my email list of my family on there who are getting my free downloads. By the way, if you guys want to get free downloads, you can always do that by joining my email tribe. You can do that on my website at veraburmenko.com. There's a way to join the list. Or you can follow the links in the description. It will take you to become a member of my email community. And you can always get free downloads from me, from my music, from my album, and notifications to when we have podcasts, who are our next guests, and when I go live as well, including the replays in case you didn't make it before. So I feel like I should do some shout outs. Hey Terry, hey Jeff, hey Brian. Thank you guys for watching my Facebook family there. So we had questions from all over the place, and including Facebook, of course. So I think before we go on, I should let you guys know that I do have a little game prepared for us for at the end of the show. So if you have submitted your question in advance to me, you have been entered into a game. into a contest. I have a surprise for you. So stay tuned until the end, please, so that we can do, there might be a little giveaway of a little something for you. And before we go on any further, just also wanted to let you know, guys, that I have a book which I published in 2013, so when I was in my 20s. And that book has more stories in it that I don't normally share. So it's more of a process of my evolution as a human being. It's called My Key to Immortality. You can read it, you can find it, you can get it. You can get free chapters from my book too on my website at violinist.com/book. And you will find this thing here. This is what it looks like. It's got a nice picture of a sky and a key, because it's my key to immortality, obviously. So yeah, you can read more stories from it. I will try to explore a few of them in today's questions, as some of them do touch on my childhood and my growth. So I hope that you get your questions answered. And if you feel like you're still missing some info, you can always read this book and get to know me better, get to know what I believe in, get to know what I stand for, what I've discovered in my early 20s as I was becoming an adult. So here we go. You can read the book anytime you like. And why don't we just go into the first question? Yeah, let's do it. So, the first question, drum roll. Oh, hey, hello there. Hi, Valeria. Thanks for watching. So, the first question is actually from Larry on LinkedIn. And Larry's asking, how did you put together such a great marketing campaign and brand? You've been very entertaining this past year with music and videos. Oh, thank you so much. This is Larry Lafata. Hope I'm saying it right. Thank you, Larry. I didn't know that I was so successful, but thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad you enjoy the music and the videos, and I hope we'll continue to entertain you more and more. So honestly, this whole idea for the show came very spontaneous to me. I just woke up one morning in May, and I decided May of last year, and I was like, I want to start a podcast. It just made sense to me since I'm a musician and I love listening. If you guys know that if you're a musician, you spend most of the time in your life listening and maybe 10% of your time playing. So yeah, to me that was just natural. It was a natural process of things. Hey Gary, how you doing? Hope you're staying safe and well. Thanks, you too. So continuing with the question, I just wanted to create some kind of platform where I could connect with amazing artists. I felt like I was a bit out of touch with some people that I really admired and looked up to, like after school. Yeah, after I graduated from my master's degree, even though I've been gigging this whole time when I was studying too, I'm lucky that way that I've been exploring the professional world and academic world at the same time. So I feel they both kind of contributed to my growth and helped each other out. So when I finished school and I was gigging for many, many more years after that, after my master's degree was done, I felt a little disconnect from the community of people that I look up to and admire. So I think this podcast was a way for me to reach out and connect to those that I want to connect with. They're people that revolutionized some of the things in their own lives, and people like Mark Wood that I've been watching for years and I would never dream of having in my show. And now I will be soon getting my monster size 7-string Viper. So isn't that amazing? That to me, that just blows my mind that I'm able to speak to those who I myself viewed as someone that I admire so highly. So entertaining, thanks. I'm glad we've been entertaining. Yes, and I hope to bring many more entertainment to you guys. That's why first thing I started was 4 years ago. I started doing live streams. And I had no idea what to do for live streams. I was quite new to social media altogether. So I decided I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to grab my violin and play some music, see how it sounds, see what else I can do. If you guys have watched some of my early live streams, you see I did some costume, like cosplay. I dressed up. I did the Pirates of the Caribbean. I dressed up like Jack Sparrow, but then it turned out to look more like a Ukrainian Cossack. I actually ended up looking like my cousin. When I painted my mustache, I looked like my male cousin in Moscow. I scared my boyfriend in the morning when he saw my face. That was pretty funny. Anyway, so yeah, I just started throwing myself out there and trying to see what I actually want to do with my platforms, what I want to do on social media, and what message I want to deliver with my music, with my craft. And I feel like during this time in our history, right now, we live at a very critical time of change that is very important to deliver the right message. And us as artists, as musicians, it's really important. Our messages and our music, our art are becoming more prominent, and right, a lot of people rely on it to sort of help them through a difficult situation. And I believe that is very, very crucial stage where our voices need to be heard. Everyone's voices need to be heard. And as a humanity altogether, we should be moving forward, not backwards. So we should be promoting the messages of unity and peace, which to some of us might seem very natural. To me, they are. I'm lucky that way. I've always known amazing people. So I feel like through the music, I'm able to spread that message to more people. So even though it's all entertainment and I love entertaining, but there's always a deeper meaning behind it. So to answer your question in short, Larry, I've wanted to create something that I enjoy and build community with the people that I myself admire and that I associate with as an electric violinist, as a dancing performing artist. So, and I feel like we have started exactly that, and I'm so happy that we did. I'm so happy that I just went for it. And I know my technology is not quite yet at the very perfect stage, and there are many things that I want to update, and I will, I promise. But I'm exploring it step by step, and I think the most important thing is to keep spreading the message and not being held back by the technical difficulties. Work through them, and we'll come out on the other side. Okay, so thank you for your question, Larry. Marketing campaign in terms of marketing, I'm actually like, well, okay, brand is a good question. I don't find myself to be an expert on a brand. I'm learning about it all the time. I'm trying to create a better brand every day, basically. And I think if you ask anyone who has had a successful brand, like that viola kid, like Paul the trombonist, those are amazing entrepreneurs who I personally would recommend you check out if you need any business help or music business help and branding yourself. I myself I'm trying to narrow things down because I like so many things, and it's sometimes difficult to put them all into just like one category or have a main direction. So I'm just trying to, clarify it for myself each day as I go with all the posts that I make, with all the posts that I pre-schedule and, emails that I write, just learning more about myself, about my brand, and figuring out through the people that I interact with, figuring out what it is that I actually want to do and how I want to do it better. Okay. David says, thank you, Vera. It's always great to witness your positive energy. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, guys. You're amazing. So, going on, let's see. Now we have a question from Jeff Reynolds. And that was actually a Facebook question in one of our previous live streams, and I remember it. So, Jeff says, Vera, is there a technique you still find difficult to master at all? Please. That's a good question, Jeff. Honestly, there are so many techniques that I haven't even begun mastering. And there are so many techniques I don't even know about existing. So it's a matter of like, depends what I'm learning. If I'm learning something new that I haven't done before, then definitely many of the techniques will be difficult. Right now, I think my main focus, and which is where Viper comes in, the wood violins Viper comes in handy with exploring metal and rock styles. I've always enjoyed listening to them. I've enjoyed writing songs in that genre, but I don't think I have been as proficient in like playing the solos in that style, particularly as I have been in, say, like Gypsy, Eastern European Romani style. Those are easy for me because I've grown up playing that kind of music. So, which is why I'm writing my albums in that genre, which is because it's the most curious to me. So I want to combine that super awesome power of symphonic metal with my heritage, which is my comfort zone, my gypsy, crazy, sort of fiery, flashy performance. And that is probably my biggest focus right now. in terms of learning the techniques on electric instruments. So if you play acoustic violin and you switch over to the electric, you'll see there is a difference, and there are some things you have to learn and master. But there's also a difference between playing something that is imitating your traditional style and just amplified, and playing something that's in itself a whole new instrument, like the Markwood 7-string Viper with Barbera pickup. So that instrument is going to change my world, and I know it. And that's probably going to be my biggest exploration process so far in terms of playing an instrument, which is going to be similar to what I know, but at the same time so different. And imagine the abilities. I'm going to have the low B flat string. I'm going to rock out bass solos. So I just can't wait for that. Somebody says, can you look up season 3 Blossom intro on YouTube? Can you do the Blossom dance? I'll have a look, Nelson. Thank you, Nelson. My live streams where I play music are on Sundays, 12 p.m. So again, join me on all my platforms, Facebook, YouTube. I'm going to be here live every Sunday, 12 o'clock Toronto time, Eastern Pacific. Yeah, Eastern Pacific. So yeah, come back one of the Sundays. Come back tomorrow, guys, too. I'll be playing something interesting. Okay, so again, thank you for your question. That was Jeff. Now we have a question from Arthur Mason. So he's asking, is there any type of music you most enjoy playing? Okay, that's great, because I think that ties in with what I just said before. So I have grown up trained as a classical musician, but I've always played, my heritage music as Eastern European, Gypsy, Romani, Hungarian, Romanian, Ukrainian, Slovakian, Gypsy music. For at least 10 years, I was in a band with the Gypsy music. So I feel like this is quite my comfort zone. So I enjoy playing. I enjoy playing everything. I've also played in a Persian band, Barbad Music, with my friend from York. We did our masters together. Now he's a doctor. He's got a doctorate, Mehdi Rezania, and we had a band called Barbad Music. Sometimes we still connect and play some music. So this is more a traditional Persian music. The funny thing is, you see, anything you do, it's always going to contribute to who you are and to becoming the best artist you could be. It's like my grandpa always used to say, there isn't a skill or a lesson that you will learn that will be useless to you. There is always a purpose for everything in our lives. And whatever you learn, even if you feel like it's far away from what your main focus is, it will be helpful. So I enjoy playing absolutely everything, and I'm just so lucky that in my career I have got to encounter so many different people. I've played Italian music, I played Calabrian music with this really nice guy who's grabbed his guitar and just loves to sing and play, and we jammed quite a bit of events around the Italian community. Yeah, I play at weddings, I play popular stuff too. It's not my favorite, popular music's not my favorite just because it's so wildly popularized. But I would say my favorite is definitely metal, rock, and gypsy folk music. Those are probably my most favorite things to play. At the same time, I'm also a composer, like a cinematic composer who loves to write for film. I wrote a theme for my sister's web series, Marked, and we had them in the show last week, so we talked all about that. Check out the episode. Yeah, and that's just something that's always come naturally to me, even when I was a little kid, when I was like 5. So before I even knew what the notes were, I would like write music in my head, and when I went to school for music, I was like, oh yeah, now it makes sense. So yeah, it took a while for me to learn to actually play. Right? So you guys might think that it's so natural. It's not natural. Playing an instrument doesn't come naturally to anyone. It doesn't matter how bright you are, how capable and gifted you are. Yeah, it's something that we talked about in our very first episode on talent, that there is no talent, it's hard work, right? So everything that you hear people do effortlessly, it's an acquired skill. It's hard work. So yeah, just go for it. Keep working at it. See what you like. And how would you figure out what you like and who you want to be as an artist? Is by trying things, by trying different things, play with a lot of different people, learn a lot of different music. And eventually you will figure out who you want to be in this, giant sonic scape of beautiful music we have in the world. And perhaps you'll find something new. So let's see. Then, oh, I should read some comments. Can you do the blossom dance on your live? Okay, Nielsen, today is my podcast live. That's why I can't stop because we have a plan. I have questions to answer. So thank you, though. I would love to do it tomorrow, maybe, or any other Sunday. Come back tomorrow, 12 o'clock. That's when I'll be playing music. Today is our very special anniversary episode for my podcast, where we are basically acknowledging some of the amazing people who helped me create it and answering your questions. So if you have questions for me, write it below here. I'll be happy to answer, okay? Let's see. Hey, Crawford. Hey, Dennis. Hey, from Chatham, Ontario, Canada. Woo! Awesome! Hey from Toronto, Tobico, Ontario, Canada. Okay, cool. Hey, Ruben, how are you doing? Crawford, hey. Okay, so I guess we should move on then. So we have a question from Sean Carves, if I'm correct. Yeah, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. It's funny. I've been writing to some of these people for so long, and I still don't know how to pronounce their names properly. So pardon me, guys, if I do. Okay, I would love to know everything about your life career plus what hobbies you have. Okay, this is like a very big question, Sean. But I'm glad that you're curious, so thanks for asking it. Okay, well, I think we have to go back to my childhood because that's where everything that I love today began. I'm grateful I've had amazing family, parents, and teachers who've always encouraged me in my path. I've always felt like I could do anything I wanted to do and become anyone who I wanted to become. So I'm from Ukraine, Kiev, just for those of you guys who don't know. And what I did as a kid, I loved visual arts as well, not just music. It all kind of started together for me. It started at the same time. There hasn't been like a gap in all of these activities. So I loved music, so I went to music school. I loved visual arts, so I took lessons from a painter, from a teacher in Ukraine who came to our house and taught us, how to paint, how to sculpt, how to do all kinds of creative things. And I think that both of these things have kind of encouraged each other. I had an exhibit back home when I was 16. I had an exhibit at the Ukrainian Fund of Culture, one of the youngest actually exhibit artists in those, walls of that relic kind of old building, and it was great. My teacher helped me organize it. I have artworks that I brought with me when we immigrated to Canada. And yeah, I loved all of it. When I was 12, I started doing some martial arts, mixed martial arts, Tai Chi, yoga, Wushu, which is a Chinese type of gymnastics for breathing and, body balance. And so I love these things so much. And our instructor was such a passionate young lady that I got inspired to do this for the rest of my life. And I'm still doing that. I'm exercising. I'm taking care of my health. Daily, I'm working on balance, coordination, stretching my muscle, making sure that I'm able to do the things I want to do in my performance. They have all evolved. Like, I'm not staying with traditional methods, but they've all evolved into something that I use for my performance, something that I just enjoy doing and that keeps me happy and sane. Grounds me. Sometimes there's so many mental processes going through our head that I feel like physical exercise is a necessity. When you're a creative person and when you just you have a lot of thoughts, I find it the best way is to engage in some physical activity, maybe even go for a walk, take a bike ride. So for me, I love stretching. I love exercising, just, tuning into my body, breathing. Breathing is crucial. So if you're an artist, guys, breathing is one of the most important things in your performance and in your well-being too, right? So we have more questions. Can you do the on your left? I'll try, Nielsen. I can't promise anything because I have to edit the podcast for like the next 3 hours. I'll try. If I don't do it tomorrow, I will do it the following week, okay? Let's see. Let's move on. Oh, Dylan! How are you, Dylan? I just said your name, and thanks to us being one of our guests on the show throughout this year. Determination. Yeah! Determination is key to success, for sure. Okay, so I basically love a lot of things, Sean, so that's a big question. And yes. I could talk about it forever. So I think it also ties in with sort of like who I've become throughout the process of immigration too, because moving to Canada has slightly changed my focus. Music has always been it, but now that we moved into a new world, into a new place, and we've learned so many other things that it just added on to it. So I feel like my education back home was very strong. The foundation, my founding education back home was very strong. I had a music school. We went to it every day. We practiced everything, not just violin and piano was mandatory for all the other instrumentalists as well. We did choir, we did music theory, music history. We did basically a university program for children. We did ensembles too. We did concerts. So I feel like I had a very strong start. And when I came here and I went to university here in Canada, it was more like, yeah, this is great. It's just a little bit more and expanded. And now I'm able to make a connection with things that I didn't know existed. But it was all building on the foundation that I've started back home just because I knew I loved music like before I was born. So this is a funny story too, because my mom, when she was pregnant with me, she went to listen to organ performances at a giant church where that featured international artists. Soviet Union, then everybody who was a part of Soviet Union could travel freely among the country, and they came to do shows. And every week she would go to listen to Bach keyboard partitas on the keyboard on the organ. And when I was already like 13, they took me to the same place and showed me where she was listening to it. And I feel like that probably had some effect on me, just because I do find Johann Sebastian Bach to be kind of the ultimate practice method for anyone. If you're a composer or a violinist or string player, playing Bach is still a part of my life. So even though I do all this kind of gypsy metal stuff, mostly for my performance, I'm still practicing Bach because I absolutely love the system he's created. I feel like it's amazing. It's just so good. And you can build on that, and you can learn any musical genre if you know how to play Bach, if you understand Bach. It will probably take a lifetime to understand Bach, because I can't say I fully understand everything. Every time you do, though, every time you do something from Bach, it builds on top and on top and on top and on top of that. So yes, that's something, one of the composers that I listen to for and enjoy and play, even with all of my metal and rock. So yeah, hey Fred. Yay. Okay, next question. Something that I hear a lot, actually. Are you married? Well, guys, you could say I am. I live with my boyfriend. We're really happy. We actually celebrated our anniversary this year. It's been 4 years since, we've known each other since we started dating. So, yeah. Another thing I get asked a lot by people in like messages and things like, how do you find your partner? How do you find happiness in love? Actually, this is something I talk about in my book a lot. So if you're interested and curious in finding, your true self, a new partner, and discovering and just following through my process of doing that, you're welcome to read it. My Key to Immortality is available on my website, virabamenko.com/book. You can order a copy. You can read a couple free chapters. There's some preview in there. You can read my short story, which is for adults only because it goes into the details of my adventure. But yeah, I mean, I hope that it will be helpful to you because it was helpful to me. So that's why I wanted to share it with everybody. So yes, the short story is not a part of the book, but it's more like a gateway into the way I think and the way I write, right? So if you enjoy that, then you're welcome to buy the book, but you don't have to, of course. So if the short story is enough, that's great. So what I basically talk about in terms of finding a partner, I'm a big, I take a lot of interest in Eastern teachings and all kinds of teachings that help you find things within yourself. So I believe that everything that we project into the world comes from within. And if you have a problem with something, you have to look for solution inside of you. So when I was in my 20s and I was single, I was kind of obsessed with this whole idea of finding my other half. I thought I was supposed to find my other half, but the truth is you don't. You just have to find yourself. So if you dig deep, if you look for your twin flame, you have to actually do that by looking inside here. And there's even a specific technique on doing that. So what I did when I was 28, it was actually 2 weeks before my 28th birthday. It was right before I met my boyfriend, Alistair. And basically what I did, I was lying on my bed because I just read this article. I've been reading a lot. When I was writing this book too, I was reading just so much. I honestly, I slept during the day and I wrote during the night. You wouldn't see me for like a year because half of this I was reading, half of the time I was writing, and the rest was just sleeping and eating and doing my stretches. So yeah, so basically what this book, what I explored in this article, I mean, was that to find your true flame, you have to look within you, because if they are your twin, then they're inside of you. And I did that. I thought deeply into my solar plexus right here, where's the center of your energy, and this chakra over here. And I was just lying on my bed, and suddenly I felt this, like I found something in there, like I dug really deep, and this energy exploded all over me. And this is something that in spiritual terms is called Kundalini awakening, or at least a part of it. So maybe I just opened a new chakra, I don't know. But it felt like I experienced a spiritual orgasm. Yeah. I think that's the best way to describe it, really. So I didn't really do anything. I was just lying in bed and thinking deep inside myself, inside my solar plexus here. That is the center of your energy, right? And I've known about this before, since I took Tai Chi when I was 12, because we had this practice where we would imagine our center of energy opening up. Some people see it as a flame, a fire, others see it as a flower, and it has to be opening up, and then the energy spreads all over your body. So I was familiar with the concept before, but then suddenly it hit me, and I knew what I wanted. I just knew who I was suddenly. And that happened exactly when I was 28, 2 weeks before my birthday. The funny thing is I read about this, and oftentimes I find it that young adults, women in particular, find that their character has more or less solidified by the time they're 28. So I was like, wow, I'm right on time. And then eventually I met my boyfriend, and that's how I knew it was genuine, because I have first become whole with myself. See, the thing is, many people make this mistake. They think that other people are supposed to complete them, but no, it's not right. Because if you are experiencing void, if you are missing something inside you, and you feel like other person has to do that for you, it's never gonna work. It's not gonna be right. They're gonna leave just as they came in, right? Because if you're doing things out of state of void, you're never gonna be in the right place for a relationship. So a relationship is kind of like an upgrade from who you are already. So if you are happy with who you are, if you feel complete, if you feel in tune with yourself and one with divine love, then you're ready to enter a serious relationship. And it doesn't mean that you can't hook up or see people to figure out your path in life. That's absolutely normal. But if you're looking for something serious, like the big love, then you have to work on you. That's the only way. If you want to be successful at anything, any part of your career, you have to work on you. And that's the only way you will bring the right people into your business, into your home, into your relationship. Otherwise, it's just you will attract exactly the people that you're vibing with, right? So if you're not happy, you will attract people who are not happy. If you're happy, you will attract people who are happy. If you are vibrating at this frequency, you will attract people of this frequency too. But if you're vibrating down below there and you have lots of issues still to overcome yourself, then you will be attracting people who are at the same stage in their growth as well. So just a tip that don't try to look for things in other people to complete you. Complete yourself first, and then you'll see the right people and opportunities will come into your life, because you will have improved to that level. Okay, I feel like we've answered that question thoroughly. I could talk about it all day, because for me it was something that I was passionate about. I thought that we were supposed to find the one, and then I've had a few relationships, and I was like, yeah, there's no one really. There's only the one that is right for you at that stage of your growth. And right now I feel like I'm with the one. So you guys, if you're looking for that in your life, my only tip is work on yourself. Make sure you're happy. You have to be happy with you first before you want anyone else to join you. It's the same for any sphere of our lives, right? So to build a business, you have to be happy. You have to be strong because you're going to face a lot of challenges. The same with relationships. You're going to have to be strong and happy and have a healthy routine because there's going to be a lot of challenges coming your way too. Everything you do in life, if it's worth doing, it's going to be work. It's going to be a lot of work. The same with this show. So right after we're done, I'm going to go ahead and edit everything. And it will take me probably a total of 3 hours to edit and repost everything. Well, it might be a little easier because I don't have to send any links. It's just me today. But the whole point is that I'm doing it and I love it. And it doesn't matter if I get paid for it or not because I want to spread the message. And I love the experience that I'm having on my journey instead of just the destination. I love the journey. You gotta love the journey. Listen to some Gary Vee. You gotta love the journey. If you don't love the journey, you're screwed. Because then you're not gonna enjoy anything you do, unfortunately. Okay, so let's see. Hey, Warren. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, so we have more questions. Andrew from my email tribe. Which CD is in your player right now? That's a good question. So we mostly listen to the CDs when we're driving somewhere, and we love to listen to Rammstein. All of their albums that we have, like we have 3 right now, I think. I don't know. We have one disc with like 2 sides, and yeah. Anyway, I love it. Like I got introduced to Rammstein when I was in grade 5 by my friend Igor in my class. I'll never forget him because he brought in Rammstein and he knew I was a musician. I was classically trained. And he said, "Let's see if this blows the Mozart out of your butt." And I listened to those cassettes, that you could unwind with your like pinky. So we had those cassettes into the cassette player, and I listened to it for about a week. I was like, yeah, it's really nice and interesting. So love it since then. So okay, then we have Austin from YouTube with a lot of questions. Woohoo! Thank you guys for submitting all your questions. So here are a few questions I came up with for your upcoming podcast. Thank you. All of the original works that you've created, which ones do you feel the proudest of having made and why? List your top 3. Oh God, it's so hard. I honestly, I wouldn't say that I feel proud of things I created. It's more like you create something and then you just move on and you want to do the next new thing, right? So oftentimes when you're working on a song, and because you're coming up with ideas, then you are creating a mock-up track, and then you're recording it in the studio and arranging it together with your producer, and then you're actually creating it and editing and mastering and then producing video. So by the time you're done, believe me, you'll be sick of it. You'll be like, I hate it. Well, no, I don't hate it. I still love my music. That's why I'm doing it. But the whole process of it could be like, it feels like you're sitting on the same spot for a long time. So it often is just like, I've created something, I love it, and now let's move on, So I've heard Gary Vee said that too, when he's creating a new business and he's building it from the ground. He's so proud of it and then he's happy. And then the next moment he's like, I want to destroy it and build something new. It's exactly like that. I think it's a normal thing in a creative process of any kind, is that you want to build something new and move on, so that because you're growing through it, right? So when you're building something, you're growing pretty quickly. It's the most active stage of growing, and then you move on past it and you create something new, and now you think that's the best thing that ever happened, and then you're gonna move on and create something else that then you're gonna love more. So I am really proud of the album that we just released. Here it is. My Iron Fiddle saga. I hope you guys enjoy it too. So, because I feel like this is, first of all, my first official album, my own work, not in collaboration with somebody else and not just recording for somebody's project, but doing my own project from scratch and working with an amazing producer who just helped me make it sound so good. Thank you, Jacob. And yeah, so I'm the proudest of this album right now because it unifies 3 of my most favorite passions in my life: cinematic music, metal music, and gypsy music. So all 3 of these are united in this album, and it showcases my heritage as much as it showcases the new things that I've explored and found and I have not yet quite mastered, but I keep exploring them and I love to share them with you. So, okay, then besides the musical arts, what are your other major interests? I think I already answered that. Yeah, I already talked about the martial arts. I talked about the my art exhibit in the Ukraine. So I think we already covered that. Thank you. Then within the next decade, where do you like to see yourself regarding your career as a musician? Okay, so in the next decade, honestly, this is a great question. I see myself doing the same things I'm doing now. It's just maybe on a bigger scale. Perhaps we have more people in our podcast. Perhaps we have a bigger fan base. Perhaps we have more shows. And obviously, as soon as the quarantine is done, I love to do concerts. So on top of everything I'm already doing, I will keep improving in quality of what I'm doing, but also adding live concerts to it because I love connecting with people in person. And this is great, you guys. I'm glad we can do this. And social media is amazing that way, so we're not missing out and seeing each other. But live concert is just such a big experience. It's exhilarating. I just love it. I love to be there and see people's reaction to your music. It's amazing, honestly. So I would add concert touring, right? So we'll start small. We'll go from Toronto and perhaps travel around Ontario in different cities. Then I plan to take it all around Canada. And if we can budget for everything, then next thing we'll probably go to US, we'll go to UK because we have quite a few fans in both of those parts of the world. And I would love to go all over the world. This is like my dream life, to take my music to a new place every day. Meanwhile, still taking care of yourself on tour. Be mindful. So, yay. Hello, Warren. Hello, Byron. How can I get it? Oh, how can you get it? You can get a CD on my website at verabromenko.com/shop. It will take you to my store, and it's the first thing that you'll see. It's signed album. It's actually signed by me and Jacob for you guys. Here we go. So I can show you what it looks like. Here's one for YouTube people. So it's beautiful. It's signed. I think this one might be upside down just because it's turned. Speaking of, different things and signed things, I think it's time for us to do our little game of giveaway. Yep. So what I did, okay, I didn't tell you guys that I was going to do this, but honestly, I didn't know I was going to do this, but now I feel like this should have been awarding. But I've put all of the names of people who submitted their question in advance. We had 7, so we just covered 7 questions. I've put all your names into a cup. And not just any cup, it's a cup from my shop as well. All my merchant junk that you can find in there with inspirational quotes, with beautiful pictures in the warrior costumes that look more like an Amazon in here, but yeah, here you go. So that was from a photo shoot with my friends a couple of years ago. Can't believe it's been that long. So I put 7 names in here and I'm going to pull out one just randomly. I'm going to mix it. I don't know who's where. I wrote them down last night. I couldn't sleep because I was thinking about it. I will pull one out and then I will tell you what you are getting. So, you guys ready? Drum roll. Okay. Let's take one from the very bottom. All right, I'm opening it. Sean Caress, you just won. Woohoo! My giveaway. There. That's your name. And you are going to receive from me here my Iron Fiddle Gypsy Metal Saga album. This is the one that's signed and sealed and will be delivered to you. As soon as we're done with the show, I'm going to ask you where I can send it. So here we go. Congratulations, Sean. Thank you for your question. Thank you for submitting it. And I think, if I'm correct, that was from that was from my email tribe. I was right. So you guys, if you want to get the first take on all the giveaways, and it's the best way to probably be a part of my email tribe. So sign up in the link below in this description. You can also find this on my website, like I said, at verabromenko.com/shop. You can find my album there. You can order one. I'll send it to you. The only thing I'm going to warn you is make sure you give it an extra time to arrive, because during quarantine the delivery times have been a little slower, I found it. I sent somebody a CD and it arrived in a month. So that could be an option. Normally, it arrives within, if you live in the US or in Canada, near me, I'm in Toronto, so it arrives within a week, 3 days, up to a week, 2 weeks, 2 weeks max. But just give it extra time because of quarantine, right? So I don't know what delays might be there on the way to you. But yeah, congratulations, Sean. Can't wait to send you my Iron Fiddle Gypsy Metal Saga album. Woohoo! Hope you enjoy it and let me know how you liked it. So, wow, this is pretty much it for the big questions. And thank you guys so much. I hope that you learned something. I hope that you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed sharing. I'd love to do one more question and kind of like trivia episode anytime. Maybe sometime later, because we have amazing artists coming your way next weekend and the following weekend. I'm actually starting to interview some of the more of a local organizations for artists, and there's a surprise coming your way too, so I can't wait. Tomorrow, right? Tomorrow, check me out on our Sunday Live, 12 o'clock on my Facebook, on YouTube, wherever you guys like to watch. Facebook, it's Vera Bermenko Violin Dance, and that's our biggest page. We have like over 8,000 people on here. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for Byron says, how long have you been playing violin? Oh, since I was 7. And yeah, I went to music school and just never stopped. I loved it. And actually, I feel like this is the instrument that I picked because it would both challenge me and interest me for the rest of my life. And I love the virtuosity component of it. I love the fun gypsy component of it, and I love it that it's light and easy. You can just take it anywhere with you and travel. So yeah, I've been playing since I was 7, and now I'm 32. So how many years is that? I have no idea. You guys do the math. If you feel like I haven't answered any of your questions, send them to me. I'd be happy to write to you personally. Thank you guys so much for sending all these questions and giving me a chance to open up a little bit. So I just wanted to make sure that we're all good. And you can always read my book too. If you want to know more, you can read my book, My Key to Immortality. It's available on just about anywhere online. You can find it on my website, verabermenko.com/book. Hey, Robert. Hey there. So yeah, thank you guys so much. It's been so great talking to you today. And I hope we can get to do more of these. And again, I wanted to just one more time encourage all of the activists, all of the frontline fighters for freedom right now. And what they're doing is great. It's amazing. It's going to change humanity. And I will do as best as I can to help as well, to make sure that we give the voice to the people who deserve it. And as you guys know, our show, our platforms are always open to all human beings for kindness and support and love of music. So I hope to continue that as much as I can, of course. And yay! Thanks, everyone. So if you're looking to find me in person and write me a message, I think the best way is to join my email tribe. You can also, I forgot to mention, we have a Patreon, and we recently got our first patron. So thank you so much. I'm so excited. I'll be posting new things every Sunday on Patreon, which is previews and sneak peeks that I don't share with everybody else. Hi, Jeremy. Thanks. Thank you so much. Jeremy says, I love your style. Thanks. Okay, and tomorrow I will be releasing something that's going to add to my shop. And I think you guys will be curious about it because it's sort of like a memorabilia element that will commemorate this big year of change in my personal life and career, but also I think in the world too, because we all feel the change, right? We all understand. So what you can do right now is, if you would like to support our show, if you'd like me to bring more people onto our show, please go to our Patreon at patreon.com/Vera Bermenko. So it's my name, /Vera Bermenko. And pledge your support for as low as $3 a month, and you will be getting all this inside scoop. You'll be the first to know about the giveaways and stuff like that. So if you haven't yet, check it out. I really hope to see you there in our private little group. Meanwhile, you can always join me at verabermenko.com. You can check out my shop on my website. Support us, buy a mug. Get yourself an inspiring quote with a beautiful picture. There's different designs. There's also the logos that my sister designed that look like violin and a sword, and that's our iron fiddle theme, obviously. So, well, I feel like I've been talking for a long time. So, and again, to all of those fighting for the rights, I support you. I salute you. I understand what you're going through, and I cannot possibly have the same experience, but we've all had our share. So I understand how important it is what we are all doing, that we each need to take responsibility in today's world to be kinder, better human beings and support each other and uplift humanity through it. So thank you guys again. Have an amazing day, and I'll see most of you tomorrow. Bye.
That's all, folks. If you like Iron Fiddle songs, download them at violinist.com/music. See you next time.